All right, rookie, listen up. You've just received your Helldiver certification. Congrats. But now it's time for the real deal. Today's briefing, it covers a nasty new variant of Terminid, the Predators. Intel reports are coming in from across Super Earth, and let me tell you, these things are a nightmare.
Yeah, these aren't the lumbering oafs we're used to fighting. Predators are fast.
Fast.
Oh, yeah, and cunning. And to make matters worse, they can cloak, making them, well, incredibly hard to track. We've lost too many good squads already, caught completely off guard.
So, what do we do?
That's why we're going to break down a loadout. From Phase Shifter, one of our top field operatives, he's managed to rack up an impressive kill count against these predators.
Yeah, he's practically a legend in the barracks.
So let's see what we can learn from him, right?
Everyone's been buzzing about his strategies, especially his use of the 500-kilogram bomb. It's, well, it's a staple in almost any Helldivers kit, but it seems particularly crucial in this fight.
Well, think about it. Those cloaking predators can slip right past your defenses, get right up in your face before you even know they're there. And then, boom, the 500-kilogram bomb is your panic button, drops right on your position, no need to aim, and it clears out anything, well, anything within its blast radius.
Yeah, it definitely gives you some breathing room, buys you precious seconds to regroup and rethink your strategy.
Exactly. Now, Phase Shifter gets even more interesting with the second red stratagem slot. He recommends rotating between the Gatling Barrage, the Orbital Laser, and the Precision Strike. He's all about adaptability, recognizing that there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Each of those strategies plays a different role on the battlefield. The Gatling Barrage, for example, is all about suppressing fire. Just lay down a wall of lead, keep those bugs pinned down, especially if they're bunched up trying to overwhelm you.
Exactly. And if you combine that with some well-placed gas grenades.
Oh, man. Talk about a recipe for bug soup. The gas disrupts their cloaking, and then the barrage just tears them apart.
Brutal, but effective. Then we have the Orbital Laser. Think of it as your long-range artillery. Consistent damage over a wide area, great for softening up those tougher enemies before they get close enough to pose a real threat.
Right, and then finally the precision strike. That's for those surgical strikes, taking out high-value targets, like bug spawners and impalers, before they can wreak havoc.
Each of these choices plays into Phase Shifter's overall strategy, which emphasizes controlling the battlefield and dictating the terms of engagement. Now, let's move on to his blue stratagem selections, where things get, well, they get really intriguing. He leads with the Gas Dog, which has seen a resurgence in popularity since its recent buff.
It seems like everyone back on the ship's talking about the gas dog. It's gone from a bit of a joke to a genuine asset in the field.
And for good reason. The Gas Dog isn't just a distraction anymore. It's a strategic tool. Its AI has been significantly improved. It's more aggressive in targeting threats. And that gas it releases, that's what makes it a game changer against the predators.
Right, because it neutralizes their cloaking. Takes away their biggest advantage.
Exactly. It forces them to fight on our terms. Now, I know some folks might be tempted by the laser dog's raw firepower.
Who doesn't love a good laser show, right?
But when you're up against cloaked enemies, that crowd control offered by the Gas Dog is, it's invaluable. It's about more than just damage. It's about disrupting the enemy tactics and giving your squad the upper hand.
And let's be honest, sometimes you just need a good boy by your side in the trenches. All right, moving on to the heavy weapons, and Phase Shifter goes with a classic, the Quasar Cannon.
A solid choice, I'd say. Reliable, versatile, infinite ammo. Excellent for disabling those large, heavily armored bugs from a distance. Think of it as your anti-tank weapon.
Especially when you're facing those behemoths like Bile Titans and Impalers. One well-placed Quasar shot can cripple them, giving your squad the opportunity to move in for the kill. Teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Absolutely. Now for the heart of the loadout, his primary weapon documentation, the Blitzer.
I've heard whispers about this one. Seems like it's become Phase Shifter's signature weapon.
And it's a perfect fit for his strategy. The Blitzer excels at stagger and stun. And when you combine that with our gas-heavy build...
We're talking about locking down those predators, preventing them from utilizing their speed and agility.
Exactly. They become disoriented, vulnerable. And then... here's the kicker. Phase Shifter has a little trick up his sleeve when it comes to using the Blitzer.
Oh.
Don't aim down the sights.
Wait, what? Really? Why would you do that? Isn't accuracy key?
It seems counterintuitive, but hear me out. By not aiming down the sights, you widen the Blitzer's spread. Against a swarm of cloaking predators, that wider spread becomes a huge advantage. You're essentially creating a cone of disruption, denying them the ability to close in undetected.
So it's a trade-off. Less precision for a wider area of effect. Interesting.
It is, and in certain situations, you might want to focus your fire, aim down the sights, and take out specific targets. But when you're facing those swarming predators, that wider spread can be a lifesaver.
Okay, so we got the Blitzer as our primary. Now what about secondary weapons?
Phase Shifter gives us two options here, depending on your playstyle and the specific challenges you're facing. The ultimatum.
Ah, the old reliable. Maximum firepower. For when you absolutely, positively have to obliterate everything in your path.
Precisely. But he also recognizes that sometime a more specialized tool is needed. That's where the grenade pistol comes in.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the grenade pistol. Great for clearing out nests, dealing with those annoying bile spewers.
Exactly. And against the predators, those grenades can flush them out of cover, disrupt their cloaking, and set them up for a blitzer barrage.
Oh, I can see how that synergy would be deadly. Now let's talk about grenades. Stun or gas? Tough choice.
Both are incredibly effective crowd control options, and with those predators.
Yeah, you're going to want all the crowd control you can get, but I think the gas grenades might have a slight edge here. Being able to seal off bug holes, disrupt those flanking maneuvers, that's crucial against those speedy predators.
I agree. Denying them their mobility is key. Now, finally, the armor choice. Phase Shifter recommended either light or medium armor, both with the medic perk for those extra stim packs and extended duration.
It's all about survivability out there. Those stim packs can be the difference between victory and becoming bug chow.
Absolutely. And the choice between light and medium armor comes down to personal preference. Light armor emphasizes speed and agility, crucial for dodging those predator attacks.
Yeah, Phase Shifter seems to favor the light armor approach, dancing around those bugs, always staying one step ahead. But for those of us who might not have his lightning-fast reflexes...
Medium armor offers a bit more protection. You might be a bit slower, but you can take a few more hits, which can be crucial in those close-quarters engagements. It all boils down to your playstyle and your confidence level.
And remember, rookies, it's all about practice. The more you play, the more you'll develop your own instincts, your own strategies for surviving those encounters with the predators.
Don't be afraid to experiment. Try different loadouts, see what works best for you, and most importantly, share your findings with your fellow Helldivers.
Right, that's what makes us stronger. We learn from each other, we adapt, we overcome. Now, before we wrap up this section on Phase Shifter, I want to get your take on this whole loadout. What stands out to you the most? What are the key takeaways that every Helldiver facing those predators should keep in mind?
For me, it's all about denying the predators their advantages. You know, we're talking about disrupting their cloaking, controlling their movement, dictating the terms of engagement. Phase Shifter isn't just reacting to their attacks; he's proactively shaping the battlefield to his advantage.
Yeah, it's like he's playing chess, not just checkers, always thinking a few moves ahead.
Exactly. He recognizes that the predators are a different breed of enemy, and they require a different approach. You can't just rely on brute force. You need to be smart, strategic, and adaptable.
And that's where those flexible stratagem choices come in, right? The Gatling barrage for suppression, the orbital laser for long-range bombardment, the precision strike for surgical strikes. Having those options at your disposal allows you to, it allows you to react to any situation, to counter whatever those predators throw at you.
Yeah, and don't forget the gas dog. That little fella has become a real game changer, disrupting those cloaking abilities, forcing those predators to fight on our terms. That's a huge tactical advantage.
It's like taking away their invisibility cloak. Suddenly, they're not so scary anymore. And then, of course, you've got the Blitzer, the heart of this whole loadout. Stagger, stun, disrupt. It's all about keeping those predators off balance, preventing them from utilizing their speed and agility.
It's a symphony of crowd control, all orchestrated to maximize your chances of survival. And I love that little trick with the Blitzer. Not aiming down the sights. It's counterintuitive, but it makes perfect sense when you're facing a swarm of cloaking enemies.
Yeah, that wider spread is like a nut, catching those predators before they can even get close. It's all about thinking outside the box, finding those unconventional tactics that give you an edge in the fight.
Exactly. And that's what separates the seasoned veterans from the rookies. It's not just about knowing what the buttons do. It's about understanding the deeper strategy, the interplay between different loadout choices, the art of adapting to the ever-changing battlefield.
It's about thinking like a Helldiver, not just a soldier. All right, before we send these new recruits out into the field, I have one final question for you. How would you modify this loadout based on your personal playstyle and the specific challenges you're facing? What advice would you give to these fresh-faced Helldivers?
That's a great question because In the end, there is no one perfect loadout. It all depends on your individual strengths and weaknesses, your preferred approach to combat, and the specific circumstances of commission. Some Helldivers might prefer a more aggressive, in-your-face style, charging into the fray with shotguns blazing.
Yeah, they live for those close quarters encounters, the adrenaline rush of facing a bug head on.
Exactly. For them, I might recommend swapping out the Blitzer for something with a bit more punch up close, like the Justice, or maybe even the Shredder, if they're feeling particularly daring.
Oh, the Shredder. Now that's a weapon for the true daredevils. High risk, high reward.
Exactly. But then you have those Helldivers who prefer a more tactical, long-range approach. They're the snipers, the strategists, the ones who control the battlefield from a distance.
They're the ones who make those pinpoint shots, taking out key targets before they can even pose a threat.
Precisely. For them, I might recommend sticking with the Blitzer for its range and accuracy, but maybe swapping out the gas dog for something like the turret, providing additional firepower and area denial from a safe distance.
Or even a UAV for that extra layer of tactical awareness. Being able to scout ahead, identify those predator flanking maneuvers, that can be invaluable.
It's all about finding what works best for you, playing to your strengths, and recognizing that there is no one right way to be a Helldiver.
Exactly. The beauty of this game is that it allows for so much creativity and experimentation. So go out there, rookies, try different things, and most importantly, have fun.
And remember, every mission is a learning opportunity. The more you play, the more you'll refine your skills, hone your tactics, and develop your own unique approach to conquering the challenges of Super Earth.
All right, so let's paint a picture here. Imagine you're the kind of Helldiver who loves to get up close and personal with those bugs.
Ah, I know the type. Always the first one through the breach. Shotgun shells clinking in their pockets, like loose chain.
Yeah, they just live for that adrenaline rush. Facing those bugs head on, what would you recommend for them?
I'd say ditch the Blitzer. Go all in on close quarters combat.
Okay.
The Justice is a solid choice. Packs a serious punch at close range.
Yeah, but if they're feeling really brave.
If they're feeling really brave,
Yeah.
try the Shredder.
Oh man, the Shredder. Now that's a weapon that separates the rookies from the veterans.
It's a beast. Gotta know how to handle it, though.
Yeah, get too close and you might end up shredding yourself along with the bugs.
True. High risk, high reward. But for a Helldiver who thrives in the thick of the action, it might be the perfect fit.
Right, but what about those Helldivers who prefer to stay back, picking off targets from afar?
Oh, the sharpshooters, the strategists, the ones who control the battlefield from the shadows.
Yeah, they're the ones who make those impossible headshots, turning the tide of battle with a single, well-placed bullet.
For them, I'd say stick with the Blitzer. It's got the range, it's got the accuracy, perfect for picking off those predators from a distance.
So same primary, but different support.
Maybe swap out the gas dog for something a little more supportive?
Right,
Like the turret? A static defense point can be a real lifesaver.
especially when you're trying to hold a position against those relentless waves.
Exactly. And don't forget about the UAV.
Oh yeah, the UAV.
That extra layer of tactical awareness can be invaluable.
Especially against those cloaking predators.
Being able to see those flanking maneuvers before they happen.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
It really does. But rookies, remember, these are just suggestions. The best loadout is the one that works for you.
Right, for your individual playstyle.
Exactly. And the specific challenges you're facing on the battlefield.
So experiment, try different things, and don't be afraid to fail.
That's how you learn.
That's how you grow.
Every mission is a learning opportunity.
Exactly, and the more you play,
The more you'll refine your skills
hone your tactics.
and develop your own unique approach to surviving the horrors of Super Earth.
So get out there, rookies, prove your worth, show those bugs what it means to be a Helldiver.
And remember,
Remember your death.